What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Jump. It looks like Tiffany Henyard has a bunch of haters. There are many, including myself, on the black internet. There's one guy who I was alerted to last month in April who's been saying some interesting things about the city of Dalton. And he came on the Tiffany Henyard scene rather late, but he was asked to do so, a younger brother by the name of Jedediah Brown. Now, at first, Jedediah Brown was not even concerned about Tiffany Henyard. He was more concerned with Andrew Holmes because he's also a community activist himself, so it was much easier for him to focus in on who he thought was a fraud. And he even says so in this video.
In the Chicagoland area. I am not here for Tiffany Henyard, and I will say this before I talk about specifically Andrew Holmes. I don't really have a real opinion about Tiffany Henyard. I am not after Tiffany Henyard, and I'm not for or nor against. What I will tell you, based on the research and the stuff that we've done, the voters of Dalton really got to make a decision based on their quality of life. The people of Thornton Township have to make a decision based on their quality of life. And if this stuff affects them in a way that they want to keep it or move it on. All publicity, I'll tell you one thing for sure. I'm 37 years old. I ain't never heard Dalton this damn much in my life. Dalton ain't never had this kind of shine. And Dalton got to do something about it. Good, bad, or ugly. Good, bad, ugly, cute, or indifferent. Dalton is on the map. Dalton, you're on the map. And this will be the time, if there ever was a time, this will be the time for Dalton to do something.
So he was indifferent about Tiffany Henyard. And I believe the reason why is because he probably just didn't know at all. But after going to Dalton, experiencing the police harassment, talking to the citizens, Mr. Jedediah Brown changed his position. And he came to a position such as this.
And this is a victory for the people. And so what I want you all to understand why I'm saying that she is dangerous is because it is now clear to me that Mayor Tiffany Henyard is willing to violate the law in order to push her will and her agenda. That is not something that you could take lightly or look the other way. She's brazen in her willingness to violate the law in order to push her agenda or her way. And so some of the things that happened today that really upset me is she violated the Open Meetings Act. That meeting, the Open Meetings Act, is the Illinois General Assembly governing how the municipalities of the state are to conduct themselves doing what is understood in the books as the people's business. So she literally is willing. Now, I'm not saying that people aren't calling and saying things, but they cannot substantiate, and they keep on keeping this whole trend and notion of a people trying to take her out. I know so many people in public service who are not going overboard with public safety matters. Do you know how many times my life has been threatened? And you can't keep using that, especially when it's causing you to abuse the most vulnerable of those you are given an oath to serve. And so one of the things that really bothered me is a clear intention to impede traffic, to obstruct traffic, to stop people from moving down the public way. They blocked the streets off, no permit, no documentation. The only thing that they could do is what they did. They said, as the police, we have determined this to be an unsafe situation. So you guys in the 9th hour of this now are blocking the streets off, not to stop and dissuade people from coming. So that wouldn't be what you're doing when you only have 40 chairs inside of the village hall, when there's clearly over 120 people there plus. So she literally had her police force to operate as blocks, and what they don't seem to have understood.
So that is where he stands now. It didn't take him very long to figure out that the hype behind Tiffany Henyard was very real and that she was not a good person. Now, let me deal with this if I can, right? And after going through this transformation of knowledge, Jedediah Brown focused more of his information on Tiffany Henyard and still focused on Andrew Holmes, but not as much, okay? It was Jedediah Brown that brought us to the fact that Tiffany Henyard left Dalton. And where did she go? Well, she went to Atlanta. Now, let's look at his particular post here. Dating music! We're expanding our investigation into anyone we see Mayor Henyard interacting with. This is a man she was having a bite to eat with on her current trip to Atlanta. We have identified an account we believe it to be associated with him, and boom, look at who's on a podcast associated with this Instagram account. I am proud of my veteran investigators and my newest freshman team, the ACIU, for digging deep for all boogers. Okay? Then also, where's the post at large? Hold on. Mayor Henyard has been enjoying her little vacation in Atlanta. However, she has calmed down considerably on the lavish and over-the-top spending. You ask Harpo, we'll let you know soon as the ACIU is on the case. Now, because I'm not sure that this is the person on that screenshot on the podcast, I'm not going to share that today. I would need more confirmation that indeed that is the person. So I don't know who this guy is. I just know that he has on those high water pants on. However, I would like to play a reason why Tiffany Henyard is not doing the over-the-top spending. Play that clip.
Tonight for embattled Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard. The law firm representing Henyard and the village of Dalton in a slew of lawsuits is asking to withdraw from those cases. The Delgado Law Group says it's not being paid, so it'll stop appearing in federal and state court and defending Dalton and Henyard in 22 different lawsuits. In a letter to Henyard and trustees obtained by Fox 32, the law firm says the village is facing millions of dollars in judgments from earlier cases and could potentially be on the hook for millions more in the current lawsuits, and says the village is quickly approaching the point of becoming uninsurable. Last night, we broke the news that the FBI has dropped a new round of subpoenas in its ongoing grand jury investigation into allegations of corruption. On Friday, serving subpoenas on Thornton Township, where Henyard also serves as township supervisor.
So guys, that is what we have heard. The reason why Mayor Tiffany Henyard is not doing any over-the-top spending, because she can't spend what she does not have. Tiffany Henyard was out there saying that there is still money in Dalton that the trustees just won't pay the bills. However, what Tiffany Henyard forgot to mention is that she took the trustees and Allison Key Clerk, shout out to our sister, off of the bank account. That is why she was out there having these guys cash these checks. She forgot that we had that information about her. I don't know why she thinks that somebody is stupid, but of course, you know, this is something that happens in the community. People think that they're just so smart, and they're not. So she forgot that part in general. So now you don't have the money. You're out here broke, you're out here dusty, and you're not doing lavish spending because either you're afraid to do it or you just don't have the money. Here is what I want to ask her in this dusty ATO trip. Was it worth it? I really want to know, was it worth it? Was it worth the fact that you had to dust up your entire life because you could not get anything set up for yourself? You spent all your time lying to people. You spent all your time cheating people. You spent all your time doing all of these things just to get a few bucks, only to end up with nothing. And you're going to go to prison. Was it worth it? Now you're out there with a bad weave in Atlanta. So I guess maybe you just trying to get it in before you go to prison or something like that, honey. I don't know what you're trying to do, but you look crazy. You're out there looking real dusty, and it's all to the good. It's okay. We're gonna see you when we see you, and for sure, you're gonna be out there sailing up. Okay, for sure. And my question is, what are you gonna tell your daughter? I'm not even being personal. Okay, you done got your boyfriend involved in this. Okay, you didn't got all these folks involved in this. Now, what are you gonna do now? Okay, a lot of people are gonna go to jail behind you. And guess who's gonna be here to report that? Me. You know I gotta report it, right? It just wouldn't be right. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Producer for all you do, subscribe to the bell. We're out.